CNN anchor Jake Tapper just published his first novel, The Hellfire Club, a 1950s-set political thriller about secret societies, McCarthyism, and how Washington compromises even the best-intentioned politician. The Hollywood Reporter's Andy Lewis spoke with the journalist and author about the book, how studying McCarthyism has informed his view of today's political climate, calling out the president's lies on TV, and why the Clintons still owe Monica Lewinsky an apology. Tapper explains that the first inspiration for his book was learning about the actual Hellfire Club in 1700s England, discovering that Benjamin Franklin had gone there, and learning about how it all worked. It involves, says Tapper, having mutually shared destructive info on each other. He adds, "I've always been fascinated by the 50s. I parked it there and that seemed to work. The stuff that is resonant about Trump came later, people coming to Washington to try to do good and being forced to compromise bit by bit. The Trump stuff echoed a lot." In terms of how he feels about our current political situation after immersing himself in the 50s and McCarthyism, Tapper muses, "It's just a question of how the checks and balances in the American system work and how leaders stand up to it or don't stand up to it. The president says things that aren't true and smears people, and there's a part of the country that likes it or grows used to it. Reading about McCarthy made me feel that, okay, we've been here before and we've survived it." When Lewis probes Tapper about describing the president's words as lies, a tough word for a journalist to use, Tapper explains his position, saying, "It was months into covering candidate Trump that I realized I had been staking out a position and standing up against lies and calling them lies. It wasn't like I made a policy change. I thought, I can take a position on facts and smears because that's decency." One of the factors that was of most concern to Tapper is being a dad to 2 young children and worrying what they might read when they Google this period in time. Another factor was, again, the 50s. Says Tapper, Senator Robert Taft tried to straddle what McCarthy was doing. He didn't do it, but also did not condemn it. Now his legacy, a big part of it, is that he didn't stand up to McCarthy. And it made me think about how others are treating this period. Trump went on Twitter and made fun of one of his former aides for having alcohol and drug dependency issues. What kind of message does that send to all the millions of people he's trying to help through the opioid crisis? Tapper first started working as a journalist at the time of President Clinton's impeachment and actually went on a date with Monica Lewinsky. So how has Tapper's view of the impeachment evolved over the years? I think at the time, because I knew Monica Lewinsky, I had a different take on it. I knew her as a person, Tapper points out. I thought, this woman is young and naive. She wouldn't make this up, and the media is trying to destroy her. So I don't think I've changed my view on that. My opinion about her and that scandal is the same as 1998. And for the record, Tapper tells Lewis that he spoke with Lewinsky as recently as a few weeks ago and believes the Clintons owe her an apology. They treated her poorly, says the CNN anchor. She had legal bills. It is amazing to me how much when there is a scandal like this, how much the man is able to dust himself off and move on with his life, and the woman is stuck like a mosquito in amber. How unfair that is. To read Andy Lewis's full interview with Jake Tapper, head to THR.com. For the Hollywood Reporter News, I'm Lindsay Rodriguez.